Well, I'm back, y'all. Yeah, I'm back. Maybe this will work. I don't know. That's why we're doing a little test video Friday night. Yeah. Um, everybody's staying warm. That's a good thing. There's a snowstorm coming. Like I was saying earlier, the local weather station told us go ahead and go out Friday. Go to your favorite restaurant. Go out and eat. Roads are halfway scraped. You'll be okay. It's not going to start snowing until 10 p.m. tonight, and it's going to be wind snow, and then it's going to turn into heavy snow, a light powder, all day Saturday, and a little bit into Sunday. Approximately 3 inches is going to fall. So this is how we stay warm. In case you're new to the channel, I stay here at my mom's house, approximately 1.5 miles away from my house, where my wife and 2 kids live. Yeah, my 2 boys, Mason and Grayson. And I stay here, and my mom has central air with a gas furnace vented through the floor, you know. So we're good as long as the power doesn't go out. We do have a couple of propane stoves hooked up in case the power does go out, you know, to keep us from freezing. And over at my house, which is my grandpa Wolf's old house, it's an old farmhouse that my wife and kids live in. I have a central heat pump, and it stops working around 30 degrees. That's when the hair dryer kicks in and your power bill is $500 a month. But wait, there's more. In the living room, I have a big BTU propane wall mount heater with a blower, and we're all trained to where when the heat pump cuts on, we turn that on just right to where it's producing heat and it's pulling it in. There's a intake in the living room ceiling in the same room with the propane heater. So it's basically like a gas pack backup heater if you set it just right. If you get it too high, it'll be real warm in the living room and the rest of the house will be cold. But wait, there's more. I got a potbelly stove in the kitchen. I took 18-inch square red brick pavers and made like a hearth bottom and a little back behind the potbelly wood stove, and we use that, and that helps out a lot because that heat. There's a little fan we got blowing over the pipe, and there's one of those fans like up in Alaska that runs off no electricity. It's just the heat from the pipe makes it turn, just like in Alaska, and that'll help push the heat through the house. Yeah. So we got wood stove, propane, and electric over there. And over here we have nothing but propane. And it's all good. Yeah. It's all good in the hood. Um, in the kitchen over there at the old farmhouse that was built in like 1900s. I know there's a date in the concrete wrote with a finger, 1946, in the well house. And I think that's when they got water, running water. There's a kitchen sink, one of them big white ones, and they had cold water only. And I never forget staying with my grandpa, because that's what me and my cousins all did. We rotated days. We stayed with grandma and grandpa when they got in their elderly age. So if they fell, we could take the rotary phone that was mounted on the wall. It was like Yalla. And it had one of those crickled, curly cords that was like 8 foot long. So you could talk on it in the living room, take it in the kitchen, walk around, talk to everybody. And we would take turns staying, me and my cousins, staying with grandpa. This was in the 80s, mid 80s to late 80s. And where I got the potbelly stove in the kitchen, there's a small chimney, a little concrete 12 by 12 chimney that we use now. And there used to be a baby blue wood stove in that kitchen with the oven. And then to the right of it, there was like a cast iron lid and a copper vat for water. And I never knew this until recently, but it would heat the water up when you built a fire over to the left with the two eye burners, two eyes. It'd go over the oven, and it would go over to that vat of water and heat it up. And I never knew this, but that was for washing dishes. So they'd have hot water because the kitchen sink only had cold water, back in the 40s and 50s or 60s. I don't know when they got a hot water heater. But that's how they heated the water up so they could like take sponge baths and wash dishes and stuff. Big old vat. But it's no longer there. There's a little potbelly stove I got. We've been living there like 13 years, and during the winter the power bill is around 500 a month because it's an old farmhouse. I got it insulated up in the top and halfway down the outside exterior walls, and I put all the flex, the heat pumps in the attic. The unit is flexed in and cut in the ceiling. There's registers, vents, and all the ceiling, which is kind of bad because heat rises, but it serves its purpose. It's cold down there. Your feet are cold. You gotta wear socks while you're walking around in there. But that's what I did over at that house. And it's pretty cool. We're blessed. Totally. Absolutely. I'm trying to figure out this new old stock laptop that my father-in-law gave us a deal in, so I can do lives like Sunday Night Live here from my mom's kitchen. The table where you're sitting is where I put this board out that's got this white pattern, and I list my clothes, pants, all the large items on eBay. Oh, I got duckum tape. Look at that. And I also fold it out like this. Look at that white pattern. You get that at Lowe's Hardware, not sponsored. And I put the board game right here on the kitchen table while she's sleeping. She done ate her turkey and gravy and stuffing meal, and she's halfway passed out on the couch for now. There was a full moon 2 nights ago, and she was up all night. That was good. Yeah. Dementia. It's a terrible thing. Last night wasn't so bad. I got up at 4 a.m. But anywho, I don't know why the other live cut off other than I need to reset the computer or do something to figure this thing out. Looks good, don't it? Got the remote control for the lights up here where I take my pictures for eBay down here underneath you. Look at that. That's all the way down. And then you can go all the way up. Look, I'm glowing. Go into the light. Go with me. It is I, the Turkey Ford Wolfman. Follow me. Then we can take it back down because it's too bright, right? There's a glare. Oh, you can see one of the lights right there. I got two in the ceiling fan. There you go, Woody. Who dat? You staying warm out there? You got a mini split, don't you, Chad? A lot of people have little wood stoves in their buildings now around here. Mm-hmm. We'll let this live go for quite a while. You know, do a little testing. I don't really have anything to show you. We'll just have to talk. You know. The internet did not go out. Chad went out to make water. I'm back though. What happened? Not again, LOL. Good job, Chad. Let me see if I can replace pin messages. I just want to get this system figured out right here. For Sunday Night Live. We did go to Goodwill this week, Melissa and I did, and we got some cool stuff. Some plush. Yeah, one of them's like $25 in the green. And I'll show you that Sunday night because I'm going to be snowed in with Mom. Oh, she's over there sleeping. Yeah, disclaimer now, if she gets up and walks around during the live and you hear some sailor talk, not responsible for that. You never know. Sometimes she's all lovey-dovey, and sometimes it's not so great. And that goes along with the dementia. That's as low as I can get the light. I think that's about right, ain't it? There's no glare on my forehead, is there? Oh, look, my glasses. Oh, you can see my eyes right there. But then there's a glare. And you see yourself right there. I did reset it. It was wanting some passcode, passkey, and for the camera system, I don't know what I'm doing here on YouTube. Free live system. But I chose a webcam this time instead of passcode, or it's trying to look for StreamYard or Duck Pond or something. I don't know. Hey, stay warm, Chad. Mayberry Pickers here. He's our neighbor from Low Gap. Replace pin message. There you go. I can do this. We have the technology, the redneck technology in the house. Yeah, I hope y'all stay warm too. But yeah, back to me staying with my grandpa in the 1980s. It was like 86, 87, somewhere around there. And he had the baby blue wood stove. It had a shelf built on the top to put the bread and the pies after you baked them in the oven. You remember the oven door had like a thermometer in it so you could get it to 350 before you bake and cook stuff. But he would make eggs and bacon every morning at 6:30 a.m. when I'd spend the night with him, to help take care, make sure it doesn't fall and stuff. And me and my cousins would rotate. There's like 4 or 5 of us during the week that would take turns staying with him. And he'd make eggs and bacon and gravy and toast. And then I never forget, he had like Sanka instant coffee in the glass jar. Looked like a glass Planters peanut can or jar, excuse me. And he would heat water up on the stove, put a big spoonful in his coffee cup. But wait, there's more. It was in a saucer, on top of a saucer, this cup was. And he would fill it in there and stir it up. Not really talk much, stir it up, pour it and make it level, full. And then to cool it off, did y'all know this? They would tilt the cup and it would go down the saucer. He'd set the cup over on the table and he would pick up the saucer. Yeah, and that's how he drank really hot coffee. It would cool off by pouring down the cup and sitting in the cold saucer. It was so cool. I never forget that. I was like, what's he doing? And he's like, you want some coffee? I'm like, I don't think I need none. No, thank you. Yeah, it was hilarious. And whenever he had like a jar of peanuts, and I'd go see him during the normal days of the week, he'd be eating them. I'd be in the kitchen, come in the house, run in there to see him, and he'd be like, you want some peanuts? And I'm like, I just look at him. I was like 10, 11, 12 years old. And he's like, what? I ain't been scratching my tail lately. Get you some peanuts. And he'd take his fingers and eat some more. And I never would eat them. I was like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. But he always had a grin on his face, my grandpa Wolf. All the pictures of him, He's doing this like he's planning something, like a jokester, you know. And that was during the '80s. Yeah. Oh, you use obvious clip there, Woody. Replace pin message. There you go. I can do my job. I'm trying to get Woody to go to the local toy store. We did good last time we went. Well, there you go, bee picking. That's Woody's wife. Replace pin message. Yeah, we got some stuff. It's not a lot of money. I got a couple of the records, the vinyl records from Sunday Night Live. I've sold one and I got a bid on one because my store's maxed out. 1,000 listens per month, and I'm having to do auctions to get a free listing, where it's not costing me 25 cents to list something, which of course I could go and list on Melissa's thrifty barn, but I don't always have that phone with me. Sometimes I make mistakes and I don't have it, so I list on my own eBay store. We got to keep listing at least 2 or 3 a day. I told Grayson, my son, today, I was like, it's just like Walmart has the seasonal rows near the front door, and now it's all Valentine's. I was like, same thing with eBay. You got to list something new so it pops up and the customer sees it and goes, I want that. And they'll buy it. That's how it works, boys and girls. It does. Oh, there's a light over there. I need to wear a hat. Can you say China closet? No. What is that? Glass display? What did they call them back in the '90s, late '80s? You put your glass plates and stuff in there that you never use. They're for display purposes only. Ain't that crazy? They're just collecting dust. You clean them once a year. Some of them glow with a black light. Some of them don't. uh Maybe I got this figured out. It ain't shut me down. It did that orange warning after I was live for like 4 minutes, and it said internet connection low. It's like, why? I was already live for 4 minutes. Why you gonna shut me down? I got back into listing every day, even with the grandkids here, trying to be super nana. LOL. Good job, bee picking. There you go. For real, you can list like 3 things, price them $1 lower than everybody else, go down on the shipping a little bit, and you'll sell one item a day by listing 3. Allegedly. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, mom's doing good on the couch here. But yeah, it's gonna start snowing. Supposedly. I got I got a generator for sale. Anybody wants one? And a bunch of milk and bread. No, no I don't. We're keeping all that. I'm scrolling up. I didn't miss anybody. What's the lantern behind me? I don't know, Woody. It's glitching a little bit. Replace spam message. It is old. It's an old Dell, but it's been wiped out. Oh yeah, it's a little lantern right there, just for looks. She loves those. They're everywhere. The coolest thing you can't see is a. I don't have my light. It's in my bedroom over here. It's a oil lamp that lights up green. Yeah, you can see it right there. That's my brother's inheritance right there. I don't want it. I got enough stuff to sell on eBay to last for years. You see that green? Yeah, that's what 1930s, 40s uranium glass, Vaseline glass. Put that back up there. Yeah, that's the stuff we get to dust. once a year. What do y'all want to talk about? Everybody staying warm. I told you about the heat situation. You got a propane stove right there at the mantle. Maybe a black light on it. Oh yeah, you want me to go get a light? It's really cool. Yeah, we got the propane with the pot of water on top of it. It has a blower too, but when the power goes out, you gotta have water on top of it to help. But humidity in the air, we put it on low so it doesn't get too hot, during the test. I got the TV on YouTube, imagine that. And it's one of those snowy cabins where you can see it snow out the window and the fireplace is popping and cracking and it's live. That stuff will put you to sleep, or at least her at night. It plays all night long. Yeah, we had 6 inches of snow almost melted off in 2 days. Now it's just muddy, Chad says. Well, play spam message. There you go. That's how pole barn garage is. He's out there in Arizona and he bought that single wide and fixed it up and he put 2 shipping containers and a bunch of wooden trusses and a metal roof, and now he's got he put a back in it and he's got a shop out there in Arizona and you work on them cars. It's kind of like a summer home, I think, to him. But it snowed out there and that's rare. And now he's doing videos on Pole Barn Garage of how it's just muck. It's the snow's melting and they're working under the hood out in the yard on the cars, and it's just this crazy mud on their shoes. And it makes sense. Uh-huh. Friday night. Oh, this is apparently going to work. I did all the updates. I don't know what Windows it is. I guess 10, 8. I don't know. Apparently it's working. Only 2 sales today, but I haven't been listing. I've got both stores for another month. Once again, I did 1,800 of our oldest listings at 30% off. And when people look at it, every 4 hours you'll get offers. You'll see that it's already marked down 30%, and I just send them a nickel. I'm like 5% more off, and I'm getting a sale or two like that, getting rid of some of the old stuff that's been listed for like 4, 5, 600 days. It's so crazy. Why haven't I been doing this every year? Usually we struggle financially, because the sales are so slow in February, the last of January, and they pick up in the later part of March when people start getting their tax refund money. They go back online and buy that collectible they had as a kid. Live and learn. That's what it is. It's a learning process. Beard King Picker, Alex asked on social media, what got you into reselling? So I'm going to answer that on the live here. I got into reselling on eBay 6 years ago from watching Harry Tornado. And then the second person that popped up in my feed was Commonwealth Picker. And I was like, I can do that. And I had this feeling, I was like, somebody's got to stay with my mom one day when she gets old and feeble. Is that a word? Was that a Disney movie? Feeble? Fible goes west. There's a dog lost from his house, right? Yeah, so I was like, I can do that. I started doing it while I was still installing metal roofing and, doing manual labor. And it's fast forward to now. We're selling stuff daily, averaging about 500 a week. It's enough to pay the bills, though. It works. It does. And I've collected a bunch of vinyl records I think all the lives over here. Hey, Brad. My wife is curious about the mushroom coffee. She wants to know if you've seen any benefits from it. Yeah, for real. I know you got to watch me. You got to tell her. Good question though, Brad. Thank you so much. Uh, you don't crash like regular coffee. I used to drink black coffee, no sugar, very little cream, and it was like 4 cups. A big tumbler like this every morning. And sure enough, I'd be wide open, shipping out eBay orders, listing some hats, eat lunch, and then I take a nap for like an hour, hour and a half. And I was like, I can't do this. I gotta be back at mom's at 5. I gotta spend time with the wife and kids. So that was the main reason. And it's true. I quit coffee cold turkey 3.5 months ago and started drinking the Rise mushroom coffee. And I take no naps. You don't crash. It has caffeine in it and it's good for your gut and stuff. It's supposed to help you lose weight. But mainly, from what I heard, what got it started is the college kids would drink it before the exams, the morning of or the night of, while they're studying, and it helps you with more focus. This is true. You can look it up. And the college kids, it started working, and of course, they're on social media, and they told their friends, and their friends told their friends and family, and it just kept growing with the Rise company. And it went all over social media, and they was like, "Yeah, I'm not tired. I can focus, and it's good for your health, your gut." Did I say it's good for your gut? Oh no, left that part out. I did lose 5 pounds the first 30 days, and I move around. I did the same thing. I don't exercise. I used to do push-ups at night, before bed, but I'm fat and lazy, so that don't happen no more. I'm on my knees, doing girly push-ups, but you gotta do something. I mean, I'm pulling eBay orders. I'm lifting heavy totes, looking through them, searching for the item we sold, and I'm putting the heavy tote back. And I'm already exercising. Mom's up talking to a bunch of babies that she used to babysit back in the day, and she'll start chasing the kids around. Imaginary kids, flashbacks, dementia. Yeah, she might come over here and say hi. I don't know. She might say something else. How do you edit a live? You don't. Yeah, it is like it's mailed to you every month. One bag, 1 cup a day is work for me. Some people drink 2 cups, so you would have to get 2 bags delivered every month. And I get the rich and I can't say the word. I'm so sorry. Daggone dyslexia, and I dropped out of speech class when I was 12. Dang it. Robust. Robust. Yeah, it's like the dark mushroom coffee. It's the strongest one. Just get the strongest one. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't get the little weak one and stuff. But they do make chocolates and creamers and stuff with antibiotics or probiotics. You know, everybody's all about gut health. Your gut and your feet are the two things that makes you the healthiest, right? Allegedly, in this time of day, this day and time. Did I say that backwards a while ago? I think I did. Yeah, robust. Whatever B. Pickens trying to say there. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. You go in the description on one of my regular what sold videos, and there's a link to the coffee. You click on it, you look at it, you buy it, and you use my promo code to get 15% off. Wolfman's Goodies 15 is the code. I got a couple of my viewers already trying it, and you don't have to quit real coffee cold turkey. You can mix it from what I heard, and wean yourself off of real coffee. I don't know, but you put boiling coffee in there. I made $28 off that order I just sold. Repeat buyer, zero in it. Good job, Chad. You're awesome, dude. This is fun. I hate to go though. I got to, because you know who's up and walking, and you know Lionel, Lionel Richie, the singer. Well, that's not who I'm talking about. You know the Peanuts, Snoopy, and Charlie Brown. There was that one kid that was always dirty, but he had that security blanket. Maybe he sucked it some, but he had the blanket. That's what my dementia mom does. And you got to be with her or she'll trip and fall over the blanket. When she gets up off the couch, she's carrying her covers with her and walking on them, and it'll be wrapped around her leg. You know, you got to be with her 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Pavey. Hey, what's up? He's out in California. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Do you drink mushroom coffee? Let us know in the comments before I bounce out of here. She's hugging a pillow and got a blankie in her hand sitting on the couch. Yeah, bless her heart. 76 years old. 3 years into this dementia. He's really wired like me. Talks a lot. High strung, they call it around here. All her brothers were brick masons and they were so fast. Literally, for Town and Country, the company that built the split level affordable houses. There was brick foundations halfway up, and then vinyl siding and carport and step down, step up, and all that good stuff. Her brothers would literally set up, get their crew, lay the brick on the house. This is in the 70s and 80s. And the other crew that got the contract for that house across the road, they would lay all the brick and clean up and leave in one day, and the other crew would be there for 3 days. And they're like, "How you do that so fast?" It's called being high strung, high metabolism, yo. Pavey loves coffee. Yes, good for you. It's good for you, big time. Yeah, she'll literally have the blanket wrapped around her leg and carrying it, pulling all the covers off the couch, dragging it around. You know, you gotta jump up and take it out of her hand. But I'm gonna bounce. Okay, this was fun, and apparently it's gonna work for Sunday Night Live, 6:30 Eastern time. Be there or be square. I'll show you some vinyl records and some stuffed animals. You know, I love y'all. You're absolutely awesome. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna see if I can end this. I'm using Windows 7, I think. Later, taters. Bye bye now.